Hey everyone, my name is Rooster and welcome back to Mechabellum. Today I want to highlight the Assault Mode Marksmen build. I think this build is very fun and it is actually viable. There's a streamer called Monkst, go check him out if you want to see some crazy plays, who has kind of mastered the art of Assault Mode on Marksmen and really likes to push with them. So today what I want to do is give you a double helping of games. The first replay will be me playing Assault Mode Marksman, and the second game will be me defending against it. So what do you want to tech? Of course, you want Assault Mode. This is mandatory, otherwise you can't play this. And then you want Range, Elite Marksman, and Shooting Squad. Range and Elite Marksman are just mandatory because you need to be able to get the extra range, otherwise Assault Mode Marksman lack it so much that they will die to anything or get hacked or whatever. And then you want Shooting Squad as your chaff creator, basically. This actually pairs up very well with Fangs, either Fang carry or just Fangs with shields. They provide for something to stay in front of the marksman while they are your carry and dish out the damage. So without further ado, let's get into the first game. So here we are, game one. I am playing on the blue side and my opponent is on the red side. He has no name, but he's a very strong player from the 401 server. And I have some decent packs here. Supply spec can be okay if you want to go for a ball stang type of push. But I think Fang, Stormcaller, Rhino spec here is very, very powerful. Both of these units are good in almost any game. And the Rhino spec is still very, very powerful on round 4. My opponent goes for sledges and crawlers and is a heavy armor spec. So I expect him to maybe go aggressive here with this specialist. It definitely would suit him also with the crawlers. And into my starting units, it wouldn't be very good to start all the way back and give the Stormcallers time to deal damage. So yeah, he does go aggressive. And I position basically defensively, expecting him to rush and trying to make sure that I have a good chance of defending. I pick up some more arc lights because I will need them to deal with the crawlers, and I have good chaff with the fangs. They're strong, especially late game if I have shields on them against sledges and marksmen, and I have good DPS here in the form of the stormcallers to try and get rid of those tanks. Let's speed things up here. So here we go. Opponent put some pack of crawlers all the way in the back there. Looks like this first round is going to be his, but I mean, that's to be expected. Heavy armor is very strong, especially early on, and can be difficult to deal with, even if the Stormcallers are good into his units. The extra HP definitely benefits. Arclight gets rid of the final crawlers. Very good crawlers, by the way. They managed to get rid of half of my fangs and then get under the gun line of those stormcallers. So very good positioning. And they actually level as well. If he levels this, it might become a problem because it looks like my Arclight is being pulled towards the side. So the crawlers have no resistance. Tech Specialist here is very nice round 2, and this is where I actually decide to purchase, I believe, my my marksman. Because even though Assault Mode Marksmen are good in Assault and played aggressively, they can also work defensively, especially into these type of pushes, because they are very good at dealing with things like crawlers, sledges, the additional splash damage that they gain is quite strong. And the additional HP as well early on can actually make it so that they can tank for a bit and buy you the time that's necessary to stall. And I immediately decide to purchase it here. And let's see what my opponent decides to do. I only have enough money to buy 2, of course, because it's round 2, but the tech is quite inexpensive. And okay, we have sledges here on the side. Tech Specialist for my opponent as well, and crawlers on the other. Looks like my Arclight did turn, so that's nice. And on this side, it looks like the sledges do find my marksman very interesting. And here you can see, like, it's not looking too terrible already. Of course, this tech kind of need range. Like, you need range and assault modes to really start popping off. But so far, so good. As long as we can stall the rounds and his sledges don't gain too much XP, we should be fine. And maybe my Stormcallers can even clean up here. Okay, well, not if you fire like that, but tower debuff comes in, and that should mean enough of a slow to win round 2 here. So good defense. Managed to turn things around immediately. And now we'll have to see what my opponent decides to go for. Barrier, it's a good item, but it's a bit too expensive right now, and I've already kind of committed to Assault Mode Marksmen as my carry unit. Subsidized Stormcallers could be good too. Even for my opponent, he could put them down and start firing. It's good against all my units right now, especially if he has like EMP, can be decent. Any EMP on these Assault Mode Marksmen makes them completely useless, because suddenly they are standing there completely naked, no range, or they have range back, but they've got no HP and they tend to die really quick. And my opponent goes for a Wraith. Okay, so we are gaming here. Assault Mode Marksman and Wraiths. Decides to pick up the anti-interference module. Not really sure why, but I mean, it's a cheap item. And it also makes the Wraith immune to any tower debuff, so let's see. I do try and deal with the flank here by putting more marksmen down, and I put another one here on the flank. I hope that it should be able to deal with the crawlers. We'll have to see. They are very tanky, and they actually deal, yeah, good splash damage, so they take out like 5 crawlers each shot. With a little bit of help here from my Stormcallers and Arclights, we're fine. This side though, really scary. Wraith is a menace. And that will be the tower gone. So the flank here, heavily invested into it by my opponent, but it pays off. And he will likely be able to take this 3rd round. I don't think my marksman here will be able to take this down. It's almost full HP still. Oh, there it goes. I mean, the problem is this Wraith doesn't actually get affected at all by the debuff, so it's able to keep on fighting, keep on firing. And it locks onto my marksman. Close, but no cigar. Wraith alive and levels as well. Now that is painful. That is really painful. Exactly what my opponent was looking for. Gets the level on the Wraith, and so I will need to address that flank immediately. I take improved firepower control system here and put it on the marksman, hoping that he will have what it takes to actually shoot at this guy. And my opponent might take this item as well. Sledges are leveling. And this is where I take the range. I also, it's round 4, so I have my Rhino now, and I'm deciding to put it on the flank as a distraction, hoping that it will, well, tank for long enough so that my marksman can actually deal the damage. And then I also decide to buy 2 more marksmen at level 2. Yep, Wraith has been leveled, Sledges has been leveled, so this is quite the scary flank. And the 3rd marksman picked up. The idea with Assault Marksmen is that you want a lot of them, as with normal marksmen. So yeah, it just like increases your DPS massively. And they're decently tanky, so having a lot of them actually means a lot of HP on the board. Opponent goes for another Wraith with the improved firepower control system. I decide to put a marksman over here, hoping that it might snipe the tower. Oh, no, I decide to put it back anyway. Maybe realizing that this Wraith has the anti-interference module, and the marksman doesn't actually have that much range. 110, still 30 less than normal marksman. Oof, that wasn't even close. These Wraiths, man. They're dealing so much damage. Okay, we managed to take out one, but the second one is an absolute menace. It is so tanky. 36,000 HP. Very difficult to deal with. And both towers go down, but this guy, anti-interference module, paying off massively here in these first rounds. Are we going to be able to take him down, though, is the question. Okay, we are. Nice. Marksman here doing his job, able to level as well. So that is massive. That is really massive. And we take out the final tower, and the final marksman goes down too. Very nice. So it looks like we've managed to avert disaster here. The plan is working. Senior attack specialist shows up. It is the correct card for both of us to pick here. All the units benefit from it massively. Field maintenance is the first thing teched. Interesting. I'm not sure about this. I mean, I do deal good damage. And I can start leveling some of these marksmen. And I did also pick up senior attack. Very good. More sledges now, so really expanding on this flank massively. And I decide to sell my Rhino and go for boat instead. So boats are pretty good against Wraiths, normally speaking. They outrange them by quite a bit, and they deal really, really good damage. And then they're also strong against sledges because, well, they can't shoot up, so that's a massive benefit. It does mean that I sell my chaff, though. The Rhino is gone. We'll have to see how that works out. I decided to put down some sentries. I think that is a logical choice. Maybe I even want another one here, just to get rid of those crawlers. Okay, we put one on the other side, trying to target the Wraith immediately. Let's see how that works out. Marksmen are locked on. And so is the Overlord, although he almost gets one shot. He does get one shot. Oh my days, who would have thought? Level 2 Wraith, soon to be level 3. Disaster. Okay, we do take out the other one. Only level 1, so that wasn't too bad. But I mean, this donut is a big problem for me. Of course, we do have the left flank, which is always winning. But this Wraith is unaffected by anything, and it just out-heals all the damage, kills all of my units. And I lose round 5. So round 6, what do we have? Ranged spec can be nice, for sure. Heavy armor is not really what I wanted to see. And I decide to skip. I decide not to go for the range because he's already so close to me, it probably doesn't matter. And this is where he takes Degeneration Beam. And I was very unhappy with that Overlord. So it didn't work. Also, this levels, I saw that heavy armor was picked up. The other Wraith levels as well. I need to address this with something bigger, and that will be the melting point. Opponent does have the heavy armor, so probably going to buy another Wraith, as he also invested into the second tech here. And I decided to just buy 2 melters immediately. And let's see how this works. Double sentries here on the crawlers. This is something you can definitely start doing in the mid to late game. Crawlers can't get shields, and when they're on the line, they're easy to missile. And it means that chaff is gone, melters lock onto the wraiths immediately, and we now win very, very convincingly on the right flank. Left side now, though, was winning, is losing. Wraith over here, too tanky. Debuffing my units and carrying. Levels as well. I mean, these Wraiths, when they work, they tend to level really quickly. But melters are locked on, and that is a big round for me. That is a massive round for me. Nano repair kit, another good unit for Wraiths, if we're being honest. EMP though? Yeah, my opponent decides to go for EMP. I decide to skip. The reason I do this is because all of his Wraiths are like so far apart, I would only be able to hit one with the EMP. And I'd rather just have the money than try to invest into an expensive active. Melter on this side, range picked up. And I decide to shield because, of course, for him, EMP is crazy good. It would disable all of my marksmen. And, yeah, that would not be good. Sentries have been deployed again. Maintenance and mech rage on the tanks. Speed has also been picked up. And all of my assault marksmen are now level 2 at minimum. Some of them level 3 and one even level 4. Again though, melter locks on. Both sides. And the donuts go down. Left side also looking good. And no more donuts means that we are looking fantastic. The crawlers though, wow, they are so fast. That is mad. I didn't see if he teched anything on them, but that looked like mech rage crawlers almost. They were going so fast. I wanted to say it should be our round, but it might not be. Yeah. Opponent actually manages to take this one. Doesn't need the Wraiths. Just has his other units to pick up the slack and finish the round. Tank production line, pretty good. Just creating some more chaff for my opponent to get stuck on, and it's decent on the melters, so I decide to pick it up and put it on the smelter over here. Portable shield, another great item. Intensive training is also pretty good, probably on Wraiths, if he wants to go for more of a carry angle. Might benefit from taking the range, although on the side here, I will always be able to lock on, because, well, he can't protect this. And this Wraith will just keep dying. Marksman still being leveled. I also decide to level the melter. Decides to try and protect anyway. So sledges in front of the Wraith. And actually puts the shield on the crawlers. Now that is pretty smart, I have to say. So it means that it will be... Oh, now I guess we have a cube on screen. Still though, doesn't really matter. Last round, this marksman on the right here got disabled. So it was a bit more problematic, but no EMP this round, and this looks very convincing again. And that should be game. That should be game. So, Assault Marksmen, making them work. This was a defensive situation. I'm not saying that other units couldn't have done the same job, but I think it's decent in this instance. It tends to be pretty good against sledges, because the splash means that they will do damage to like 2 or 3 sledges if you're lucky. And yeah, adding the melters here is a good option. Usually melters with chaff clear is a strong comp. It's why Melter Mustang is so strong. And this is just another variation of it, I guess. So yeah, not too disappointed there. And a good game. With that being said, let's head over to game 2, which is an aggro assault mode game, and I am defending. And here we are. Game 2. I'm playing up against Mungst, so scary stuff. I know he will play aggressive, because that is kind of his trademark. And he has quite good cards for it. Could go quick supply, but decides to go supply spec here, Marksman Mustang. So, yep, committed to playing the Assault Marksman. And I decide to go for Marksman spec because I kind of thought maybe I do the same. But it would depend sort of on how it's how the game develops. So I go aggressive here. Got some good packs. Bang, Phoenix start with the Marksman. And probably I pick up some Arclights here to deal with his crawlers, or his crawlers, his fangs, and especially with the Mustangs. Although Mungst already deciding to sell the Mustangs, doesn't want anything to do with them, and positions aggressively here with the Mustangs and the Fangs. So this is definitely something that you can try out yourself if you want to play this setup aggressively. This is kind of how it's done. So this is both a showcase of how to play it aggressively and how to try and defend, or at least one of the options you may take. Both of us on the wrong side of the board though, so this is going to be an interesting game. Phoenixes will likely carry the first round though. We get the tower debuff quick. And now we can slowly make our way over. Although, opponent will likely get the tower debuff too. He does. And let's see if that is going to be a disaster or not. The only thing I don't want is for the marksman to die and give XP to, like, probably the marksman. Because it looks like he wants to sell the Mustangs. So if they get XP, I don't really mind. But I don't want his marksman to start leveling really, really quickly. And it looks like we're fine. Orange man over here doing his job. Taking out everybody. Very nice. Very nice. So, round number 2. Strike Specialist shows up. Pretty good for both of us. Haste module can be okay. It kind of depends on what I want to put it on. I'm thinking about buying hackers here. So I could actually take the haste module and put it on a hacker. Strike Specialist is fine as well if I want to go aggressive myself, but I think I want to try and defend this side. Opponent already clicked the Assault Mode Marksman button, round 2, and double Assault Marksman on the flank. So this tower is under a lot of pressure. And I pick up the... What did I pick up? Oh, I go Strike Specialist anyway. So, putting the Phoenixes on a flank here, and leaving the other ones on this flank to try and maybe snipe the tower. And I pick up some Mustangs instead. Okay, so trying to get rid of all the chaff first. I put them on the inside because I expect him to maybe put stuff here on the flank, and I don't want the Mustangs to get stuck on the marksman or on flanking crawlers, whatever. I just want them to be able to get rid of the fangs. So it looks like my flank does come through, and my opponent, I didn't quite see. I thought maybe he had a flank going, but no. And we get the towers again. So this is looking good once more. Phoenixes are doing an amazing job these first rounds. And great use of the flanks for us. We've got the more speed and more range on our units. So we were able to get to the tower faster. And then also there was nothing there to stop them. So right now, tempo is looking a-okay. Enhancement module shows up. Probably a good pickup here for me, because I likely do want to get rid of my Phoenixes at some point. I expect my opponent to buy more Fangs, and then the Phoenixes are real useless, and I'd rather try and go towards Mustang Hackers, actually. So my opponent goes for Rhino Assault. I probably don't. I could try it, but I think stock module or enhancement module is so strong that I kind of need to take it, and it probably is good for me. Because there are some units I want to get rid of. But if they get levels, it's wonderful to get some extra cash. Did I pick it? I did not pick it. Looks like I skipped. I did skip. Okay. I think that is probably a mistake, but I might have done some math here. Unlocking hacker. Yep. I probably wanted some extra units. I have got some money to buy even a second hacker if I really want to. So that's probably what I did here. I wanted to make sure I could buy double hacker or double... Okay, some more Mustangs. Yep. I wouldn't be able to do this if I bought the enhancement module, so this is probably the reason. I expected some fangs on the side, which is why I bought the extra Mustangs there. Rhino, though, does go through and gets the tower debuff. And that looks like a convincing round for my opponent. We do get the tower. Can Orange Man do anything? Tower debuff comes through. Okay, I mean, he has a lot more range than these Assault Marksmen, even though Monks did tech range already. It actually looks like we might be winning this. Wow, gets rid of the Rhino. And I've got some more... I've got a couple fangs here. And it looks like we actually win the round. Holy moly, this guy deserves a promotion, man. That is the best performing Orange Man I have ever seen. I usually sell them because they tend to die and just feed XP, but I'm glad I kept this guy around. Laser sights. Subsidized Mustang, also quite nice. Monks decides to go for laser sights, makes sense. Can put it on a high level marksman and make sure that it's on par with some of the other high range units. And I go for subsidized Mustang. So I'm still expecting here more fangs from him. Because I know, I've seen him play this multiple times, so I kind of know what to expect. And yeah, I just like this combo. I think Hacker Mustang can be a good choice. I actually changed multiple control recently for EMP. Because EMP hackers against Assault Marksmen are really insane. Once they lock on, the Marksmen lose all of their techs, they get hacked super fast, and then once they're hacked, they get their techs back. So, can be very strong. And here I decide to move my Phoenixes around a bit. Maybe not, maybe yes. Actually, I moved them back, expecting a flank, because this side had been left alone for some time, and it is wide open. And yeah, looks like that is exactly what Monks is going for. Reading him well here. And I put my Phoenixes forward because I expected the Phoenixes or the Marksmen to be positioned similarly to this side. And so making sure the Phoenixes would immediately target them. Hacker locking on, trying to hack one of the marksmen here. We do manage to do so. Okay, tower debuff comes through. This is very good timing for us. Means we'll be able to hack some more of these marksmen. They start shooting their own allies. EMP would probably be nice. Because they are taking a long time here to hack the level 2s especially. With how tanky they are. I mean, 17,000 hit points. Look at that. That's the same as a level 1 Rhino, basically. And a third tech picked up here for Monks. So going for the shooting squad. He has a whole bunch of Assault Marksmen now. So these will all spawn 5 additional fangs at the start of the round. And he might actually try and tech them. But Para shows up. Parasitic ammo. And that is a blessing for me. That is quite lucky, I have to say. Parasitic ammo when I'm playing Mustangs into Fangs is insane. The amount of distraction this creates is is invaluable, especially in a situation like this where I'm being pushed. It can just mean that I get that additional time that I need. And my hackers might be able to hack more stuff. So yep, fangs show up on this side. I decided to put some fangs myself to delay. And barriers have been picked up here on the hackers first, so that my Mustangs have got some protection. Although hackers have already died, so that is not good at all. This side is looking pretty poor now. We managed to win the right side though. And oof. I mean, there you can see the strength of Assault Marksmen. That splash just killed my hacker. It was shooting at a Mustang, but the splash made it so that the hacker also died. It probably wouldn't have made a difference though, but that is quite insane. And Monk's managing to turn things around here on round number 5. Round number 6, an enhancement module shows up again. An amp core has been picked up. And here I do decide to pick it because I've got these phoenixes, and though they're doing well, I kind of want to get rid of them. And same for the marksman. So marksman did a good job, but I level him and sell him, make myself some credits. And now we start moving it onto the phoenixes, leveling them, and then we'll probably sell them next round. Amp core and health items, by the way, are not great on Assault Mode Marksmen. You might think that they are because of the high health, but I believe what happens is that heavy armor doubles the starting hit points of marksman, and then that gets 500% buff from Assault Mode. And it's not the other way around. I mean, if it were the other way around, it would be good, but here it is basically not worth it. But my opponent picks up the fortress. Hacker has locked on immediately though. I have given them range because they were dying fast. And we might actually, if we're getting lucky here, we might hack the fortress. Although opponent immediately clicked rocket punch, and actually when we were in this game, my opponent told me that he had misclicked. He actually meant to go barrier, which would have been way better. I lack shield damage, so I would have gotten stuck on it. But it doesn't seem to matter too much in this round, as his fortress remains unhacked, and he does manage to win. Tower debuff comes through, and we're just waiting now for our units to get cleaned up by this whole pack of enemy units. And the final Mustangs meet their demise. I mean, they have HE and range, so yeah, they are not made to counter those Assault Mode Marksmen. They can level now, and some scary items. Improved firepower control system here. Laser sights. I pick up barrier because I want to buy a melting point. Good against the fortress, and with EMP, which is what I pick up first, it can make sure that the shields get cleared fast enough. Also starting to level some of these hackers now. Selling the phoenixes, moving the enhancement module to the other side, and making sure I get some cash. And maybe I buy myself another melter here. Nope, instead going for more Mustangs. And Rhino drop is also being used. The leveled hackers are really good because 1, they hack stuff faster, and 2, it means that the barrier gets an additional 20,000 hit points. And here I do decide to pick up another melter. Okay, so getting a loan and making sure I have a second one because I expect more fortresses to come down. It's just the one though on the flank. Opponent now went for barrier, it does look like. Yep. This barrier went down immediately though, and That was very, very close. We managed to just about hack this in time so that the tower survives, and that might mean we do survive. And the EMP went onto the fort, so no rocket punches. And now we are hacking this fortress. Not quite, though. Not quite. We're just shy. Other side is looking great. Other side is looking fantastic. This side, kind of scary, though. But we do hack this. EMP goes down, and immediately the marksman loses all of his tankiness. Can we get rid of this? Looks like we can. And we even hack it, and it survives. Beautiful. So that is some massive damage. Taking over that fortress there at the end for the additional 400 damage to the opponent. And now we have EMP. It shows up, the electromagnetic blast. Very good for both of us. I can put it in the corner here and hit the shields. This probably does hit the shield, but maybe the shield should probably go down anyway to the EMP. Picking up another melter. My opponent, yep, hitting all my shields and even hitting this one. But I mean, if I can disable these techs and he can't shield the sides, it means that these will be very, very squishy and completely useless, and perhaps I can hack them. I pick up more hackers as well. The additional barriers are nice, and if I can hack any of this, it would be fantastic. Although my opponent, I guess, expects the EMP on this side and decides to move out of the flank and put triple fortresses on the other side. And there is no melter there. There is no melter over there at all. Phoenixes have been leveled, by the way, and sold, and I leveled the melter for free with the enhancement module. So overall, we're making good cash here in this game. Always very helpful. And I mean, these Mustangs are a menace. Parasitic killed 183 units. Yep, barrier goes down. These marksmen are now disabled. But this side is scary. I have 0 shield break. I only have some Mustangs, but they have HE, so this is a painful side of the board for me. Although it doesn't look like we're doing too bad. We're actually somehow managing to delay him for quite some time. We took over the fortress, and the fortress actually gets the enemy tower. And now we can get there in time. And oh my god, this hacker... There is no way he actually hacks the fortress as well. Wow. I mean, maybe this is more so a hacker showcase than an Assault Mode Marksman showcase. And we hack the final fortress as well. I don't know how much HP it's got, but hey, it's ours. Convincing round there. I have to say, Para was MVP. Like 233, this unit killed like over 50 units the final round. Distracting all of this, and then distracting these units probably some more too. I think hackers are a good answer into Assault Mode Marksman, and they pair up nicely with the Mustangs, especially when your opponent does go for things like Fangs. And on the flip side, I think if you play Assault Mode Marksman, they pair up nicely with Carry Fangs too. I've seen monks play a bunch of this, and also playing it with way more Fangs, with double, triple tech sometimes, and it can be a scary thing. The Fortress Pivot was a nice move. It should be pretty good into the hackers. And also, my Mustangs don't have insane damage. It's a bit unlucky that he misclicked the punches there, because it definitely cost him a lot of economy. And then I also had the enhancement module advantage. So yeah, we were pulling ahead in terms of resources. But overall, nice game. I hope that you like this. I was trying to showcase basically how you could play this aggressively, how you could defend against it, and how you maybe can use Assault Mode Marksman defensively. It is quite a fun strat to try out, so I would definitely recommend that you do. And with that being said, if you liked it, drop a like, comment below what you think of Assault Mode Marksman. Have you made it work, or do you completely hate it? And yeah, if you want to see me play live, check me out on Twitch, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.